The topics are arrangements and distributions, approximation techniques, and two types of basic data sets. We'll have to finish all these things in, let's say, 6 days. So give yourself a target of 6 days. Start solving the sets of advanced data sets. You will understand that there is just a hype about these sets. Revision and practice test will continue, and like I was telling you that this is the idle time. Venn diagram might take a little longer, so instead of 5-6 days you can give yourself 7 to 8 days. Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all of you to this new beginning, the all new channel for all the students who want to have a complete preparation in English language. Now friends, this particular thing we were these type of questions we are handling since so many months that why not we launch a channel in which we are not using any Hindi language or Hindi words, like a lot of students who were suffering a problem, who could not understand each and everything in Hindi language. They were suffering. So taking into consideration the request from all the students, we have launched this all new English language in which we'll be teaching you entirely in English. Now, starting from the strategy sessions, starting from the content sessions for quant, verbal RC and LRDI, each and everything will be covered in 100% English language. Now friends, to begin with, I would like to discuss one very important factor that is playing right now in your minds. Now, over the last, I would say 15 to 20 days, I've been encountering questions from the students. I would say that this is not a question in their mind. This is a doubt, a big doubt in their mind on their abilities. Like if I'll be able to finish my complete preparation in these 120 days which are left for CAT 2025. One very simple answer I have for all these students who are right now in a dilemma that will I be able to complete this entire preparation? We have to handle 3 subjects, quant, LRDI and verbal RC. So will I be able to do justice with my CAT preparation? Will I be able to get that score which will land me up in any of the top B schools of the country, probably if not top 10, but maybe top 20, top 30, at least some respectable colleges of the country. So friends, my answer is very simple. Now, since I've been teaching since 18 years, I have seen a lot of students. I would not give you 1 or 2 examples, but I would use this word. A lot of students who start their preparation somewhere in the month of July or August, and they still are able to score good marks in CAT. I'm not saying that everybody who starts in August will be able to achieve 95 percentile, but definitely I can see that with a lot of conviction. If you are ready to give your 100%, if you are ready to devote, let's say 14 to 15 hours on the preparation for the CAT, right, then you will be able to probably achieve this feat. This is not impossible. This is very much in your hands, right? So friends, breaking this entire preparation in 3 parts, quant, verbal and LRDI. Now we are up for all of you in a subject-wise plan for these next 120 days. And today in this session, I'm going to take up logical reasoning data interpretation section. So in today's session, I'll be going to tell you how to break these 120 days. I'll not call them 4 months, I'll not call them 120 days, but I'll try to divide them in different weeks. So if I go mathematically and use a little bit of approximations, then we can say that we have almost around 16 weeks left for us. All right, 16 weeks and some days. All right, so I'll not consider those extra days, but I'll talk about these 16 weeks of preparation, and I'll be dividing this entire 120-day period in these 16 weeks. And what my belief is, if I give myself some very short-term targets, right, and I'll try to achieve them, then I'll be able to do much justice with the preparation and with the targets that I have given to myself. Because if I'll be giving myself long-term targets and if I have some deviations, then it will be difficult for me to recover from those deviations. But if you'll give yourself weekly targets, and let's say if you deviate by 1 or 2 days, then you have time to take corrective course of action in the next week or in the next 2 weeks to follow, which will help you in bringing back yourself on track, right? So that's why we'll break this entire journey in weeks, in 16 weeks, and we'll give ourselves small targets which will have to complete in 1 week, right? So here we are going to discuss week-wise strategy to score 100 percentile. We'll target 100 percentile. We might land up at 99 percentile, 95 percentile, or the sectional cutoff that is required to get an IIM call, which is in some IIMs, like in most of the IIMs, it is 90 percentile. So definitely in these 16 weeks, in these days to come, if you will give your 100%, if you are ready to devote, let's say, a total of 12 to 15 hours on daily basis, not only on DI, but I'm counting all the 3 subjects. So you will be probably like, there will be higher chances of you scoring this 95 plus percentile, or maybe like some of you end up scoring 100 percentile as well in logical reasoning data interpretation section, right? So friends, let's begin. So first of all, let's understand what all study material do we have. So again, it's my belief that if we don't know what we have to do, if we don't know what all things we have to study for, right? What all resources we have, then it will be difficult for us to plan in a proper manner, right? So first of all, let's understand what all study material do we have, right? So starting from the live lectures, right? So we are conducting live lectures on weekly basis. So you will get to attend two quant lectures per week, 2 verbal RC lectures per week, and 1 LRDI lecture per week, right? Okay, so for all the students who are in the batches, who have enrolled in the batches we have which we have started recently, or which we are going to launch. One of the batches is the fast track batch, which we are going to launch very soon. So you will have live lectures, and these live lectures will include the lectures for CAT and the other management entrance examinations. Now, in every lecture, the faculty will be teaching you the concepts, and there will be some solved examples which will be related to the concept that the faculty has taught you. Now, again, some of the students expect in the class that the questions that we are solving in the classes, the solved examples, they should be of the level of difficulty of CAT. So my dear friends, understand one small thing, that if you want to like climb the Everest, so you cannot land up directly on the summit, right? So you will have to take smaller steps. First of all, you will have to exercise, you will have to understand your fitness level, then you'll have to go to the base camp, then another step, and then you will reach Mount Everest, right? So I would say that CAT is another Mount Everest, and you will have to take smaller steps one by one to reach that top level. Okay, so at the beginning, if I'll start, or if any faculty will start giving you the questions of the level of difficulty of CAT without covering all the fundamentals, all the basics, the basic type of questions, then like looking at these CAT level questions, it might be possible that your level, your confidence will reduce. Okay, so just to take care of all these things, since we have the faculty members who have more than, like, each faculty member have more than a decade of experience, and our combined experience is more than 100 years, right? So if we'll look at all these things, so we understand what kind of preparation each and every student requires. That's why we increase the level of difficulty gradually. So I was talking about the live lectures in which we have solved examples with the concepts. Now, every live lecture is attached with a DPP, daily practice problem. So at the end of the lecture, you have this DPP waiting for you. Now, some of you might start with this DPP there and then immediately after the lecture. But for most of you, I would recommend that first of all, have a complete understanding of this live lecture, whatever is being taught in this live lecture. Make sure that you have understood each and everything 100% of the lecture. In case you haven't in one go, then you have an option of watching the recording of this live lecture once again or any number of times, right? So there's no need to repeat the entire lecture of 2 hours. Whatever points, whatever things you haven't understood, you can watch, you can have a look at those things. And then once you have 100% understanding of whatever is being covered by the faculty member, then jump on to the DPP, right? So every week you will have 4 or 5 lectures, whatever the count is according to your batch, right? So every week you will have 4 to 5 DPPs to solve. So you will have to ensure. Now friends, since you are starting in the month of July or August, you will have to ensure that there should not be any kind of deviation at the beginning. All right. In fact, during this entire duration, there should not be any kind of deviations. So you will have 5 DPPs to solve by the end of the week. Make sure that before the next week starts, all these 5 DPPs are completed. All right. So no backlogs at the initial stages, right? Then after that, you will have topic wise test, right, on the weekends. So over the weekend you will have test, right? Then in your course you have sectional tests, you have full length test, you have the mock test series, you will be having an access to the previous year papers of CAT, and one very important thing, the latest addition is the LRDI book, right? Now the LRDI book or the books that we have published, right, they will be available to you in the next 15 to 20 days, and you can purchase them online. All right. So these books were not included in your course material, right? So what you can do is LRDI book or Quant book or VARC book, you can purchase it online. You can just order it, but not right now, right? So I'll be explaining you what you'll have to do in this week-wise plan for the next 120 days. And just first of all, helping you to get familiarized with all the things, all the study material that you have for these next 120 days, right? So friends, let's talk about this strategy to ace LR and DI in the next 120 days, or I call it a week-wise preparation. So let's talk about what we'll have to do in week 1. Okay, so week number 1, whenever you start, I would say that you can start from 1st of August, you can start from 4th of August, you can start from 10th of August, but make sure that divide the entire, divide whatever time is remaining for you in small chunks. So I have divided these next 120 days in 16 weeks, and let's see what plan do we have to follow in these next 16 weeks. Now to start with, logical reasoning and data interpretation, these two things must go hand in hand, right? Okay. Now for data interpretation, you require some understanding of percentages, especially like percentages, ratios, and averages. So these 3 things will be required in data interpretation. But to start with, you can have a little understanding of percentages, which will be taught to you in quantitative aptitude. So quantitative aptitude generally starts with percentages. So that's the first topic. So that will also help you in data interpretation, right? So starting with logical reasoning, you can devote some time on arrangements and distributions, understanding the basics of this and finishing up the DPP of this, right? Okay, so the first topic that you need to start is arrangements and distributions when it comes to logical reasoning. Now in data interpretation, you can devote 4 to 5 hours on any day, right? To start with, 4 to 5 hours in understanding the approximation techniques, the percentage calculations, some calculations like I would say percentages, ratios, and averages, remembering some numbers like squares of first 25 natural numbers and cubes of first 15 natural numbers. All these things are going to be very handy when it comes to calculations, when it comes to handling calculations in data interpretation, right? So approximation techniques, you can start by understanding, okay? And then this is basically a matter of practice. More you practice, more command you will gain over data interpretation, the more accuracy you will maintain, and the speed comes slowly and gradually once you'll increase the amount of practice that you are doing. Okay, so you can start with approximation techniques, and then start by solving questions on data interpretation, which involves basic data sets. Now, basic data sets are divided in 5 parts: tables, bar graphs, pie charts, line graphs, and caselets. So in the first week, you can handle the data sets in which the data is given in the form of tables and bar graphs, right? So this is the complete masala, the complete material for the first week. You'll have to finish all these things in, let's say, 6 days. So give yourself a target of 6 days. Okay, so don't be don't make a plan which will take up things which are neck to neck. No, so you have 7 days, but try to finish everything in 6 days and try to keep 1 day in buffer. And on this 1 day, you can practice the entire thing, you can revise the entire thing that you have covered in the entire week. All right, fine. So that was week number 1. The topics are arrangements and distributions, approximation techniques, and 2 types of basic data sets, tables and bar graphs, right? Now your preparation will continue in the next week with the next topic, that is games and tournaments. Now, games and tournaments of logical reasoning is one of the most difficult topic, and it's vast as well, lengthy as well. Fine. So I have given you 2 weeks for games and tournaments. So first week in the games and tournaments, you can spend 2-3 days in understanding the basics of games, the dynamics of different types of games, and then the different types of tournaments which will have knockout and round robin tournaments. Okay, and you can just practice the basic type of questions which involves the logic of knockout and round robin. All right, then switch over to data interpretation and give yourself 2 or 3 days for another 3 basic data sets, right? So you have already done tables and bar, so next 3: line, pie and caselets, right? So ensure that, make sure that you are devoting at least 3 hours for the questions which have the data in the form of line graphs. So study and practice each and every type of question of line graph. Okay, don't just run for cat level of difficulty questions. Understand the basics first, and then you have a lot of days left, okay, over which you will be handling the questions which are of the level of difficulty of cat. Okay, right? Same do with pie charts and caselets, right? So you'll be able to finish all these things in 1 week. I'm not asking you to finish or practice a very high level of difficulty of questions of games and tournaments, because I've continued this in week 3 as well. So practice questions of games and tournaments. You can select 3-4 sets which have already appeared in the previous year papers of CAT examination, right? Then in games and tournaments, once you have the entire knowledge of knockout and round robin, then you can start handling the questions which are from hybrid games and tournaments. Hybrid means the questions, the sets which have the logic of both, the combined logic of knockout and round robin. All right, fine. So you can practice these questions for 2 or 3 days, and then you can start spending 2 or 3 days on advanced data sets. Now, once again, advanced data sets can be of different types, right? So we understand, or we must have heard the name of candlestick charts. Candlestick charts is a very famous set that appeared in CAT 2024. Bubble charts also appeared in CAT 2024. Then spider charts, which are hexagonal charts or pentagonal charts, triangular charts, scattered charts, right? So all these things comes under advanced data sets, right? These are not the regular data sets like pie charts, line graphs, and so on and so forth. These are something different, but once again, I would say that easy to interpret. Okay, so once you start solving the sets of advanced data sets, you will understand that there is just a hype about these sets. So they are like as easy as handling the basic data sets. All right. So in this week 3, you can begin with advanced data sets, and you can just pick up 2 or 3 types of advanced data sets like triangular charts and scattered charts. Okay, you can finish them in the first week. You can give 3-4 hours to each of these types of data sets, and then continue with advanced data sets in the upcoming week, that is week number 4. Now in week number 4, I have kept a little light for logical reasoning. Okay, so in logical reasoning, we are going to handle only roots and networks. And yes, we have seen plenty of questions coming from roots and networks in the previous year papers. And most of these questions, I would say not all, but most of these questions are easy to medium level of difficulty. Rarely you will find a question, a set from roots and networks in PYQs, which is very difficult to handle, right? So open up previous year papers and like you can cross check this particular thing by solving these questions, but not right now. Okay. Then as I told you that you can continue with advanced data sets, right? So advanced data sets, the remaining type of sets like spider charts, candlestick charts, the bubble charts, different type of bubble charts are there. Okay, so you can practice these for one more day and then switch over to questions which have multiple data charts in a single set. So handling questions, handling sets which have two data charts, 3 data charts, 4 data charts, these type of questions have appeared in CAT previously as well. Okay, so you must understand how to establish a correlation between one data set with the other. Okay, so you can start with multiple data sets, right, in week number 4. Okay, now week number 5, the remaining topic of logical reasoning, puzzles, and then from here very important things are going to start. So up till week number 4, I can say that in 1 month you have I would say reached to a level, right, in which you already know each and everything, like most of the things, 70-80% of the syllabus has been completed, and you know like a lot of things about CAT examination. So this is the week where you will have to start testing yourself, start learning from your mistakes, start analyzing your weak areas and strengths, and then start working on those weak areas that you have determined on the basis of this mock test, right? I'll give you like complete understanding about this. So week 5, I've kept it light when it comes to logical reasoning. You just start looking at different type of puzzles. Okay, data interpretation. Now since you have handled each and every type of data set, so you will have to now start practicing these sets. Okay, so practice some additional data sets. Now you will ask me, sir, from where? So you have a lot of study material which is present, a lot of practice tests which are present on your online portal. All right, or what you can do is now let's say you have reached till August end, right? So September first week is the ideal time. I told you I'll tell you later on. So September first week is the ideal time where you can order the book that I have written for all of you. All right, so September first week you can order this book and start practicing these extra DI sets or extra logical reasoning sets from that book. All right, now I have enough number of practice sets in that book which will take you to CAT examination. Okay, now revision and practice test will continue, and like I was telling you that this is the ideal time to write mock test 1. Okay, so it's not necessary that you will have to write the mock test immediately when it was live. Okay, because earlier, like in the first few days, you were not at all prepared. Okay, so this is the time when you can start with mock test 1. And this is very important thing, do a proper analysis of this mock test. Now analysis, I have already told you what all things you will have to analyze. Okay, so start by giving yourself a target in mock as well. Okay, so the target should not be like, if there are 4 sets in mock 1, I'll solve all the 4 sets. No, give yourself target to solve one set, only one set. I'm not asking you to read only one set. I'm asking you to read all the sets, right? And then find out which of these sets is easy to handle and then finish that set. Just one complete set. In those 40 minutes, you just have to handle one complete set. That's it. Okay, so if all the 4 or 5 questions are correct, then you will be easily sitting at more than 70-75 percentile. Okay, in actual CAT as well. Okay, so mock, complete the mock, give yourself a target. Okay, solve that number of questions, that many sets, as per your level at that time, and then do a proper analysis. In the analysis, you will have to look at all the sets, right? Try to solve them, refer the solutions if you are unable to, find your weak areas, find the areas in which you have committed errors, mistakes, okay, and try to rectify for the next mock. So before you start the next mock, try to give yourself a revised target based on your performance, not based on the target that you have given to yourself before mock 1, but based on the performance of mock 1, give yourself a revised target, right? Now let's move on to the next portion, week 6 and week 7. Now week 6 and week 7, now these two areas were left, which comes under logical data interpretation. So it's not only logical reasoning, it's not data interpretation, but it's logical data interpretation, which will be having a lot of logic as well as a lot of numbers. So missing data and Venn diagrams. So you can spend, I would say, 5 to 6 days on this at least. Okay, missing data and Venn diagrams, 5 to 6 days. Venn diagram might take a little longer. So instead of 5-6 days, you can give yourself 7 to 8 days. So these are 2 weeks combined, week 6 and week 7. So you have 14 days. Okay, so you can spend entire 1 week on these basics. Meanwhile, you can continue with your revision and practice and write mock test 2 and mock test 3. Generally, a complete mock will take half of your day, right? It's not just 2 hours, but it is followed by 3 to 4 hours of analysis, right? So one mock test will eat 7 to 8 hours of yours. Okay, spend it, right? So don't be a person, don't be a student who wants to run away from the performance of mock test. No, give yourself some time, sit on that mock. After you are done with that, do a proper detailed analysis. Okay, so that was week 7 and week 6 and week 7. Now, since you have completed the entire syllabus, now for the next few weeks, you will have to keep practicing a lot of sets on daily basis. Okay, now this is because you want to gain momentum, you want to gain speed, right? So you'll have to practice at least 4 sets on daily basis for week 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, right? So week 6 and 7 was covered earlier. So if you are able to finish the previous task a little early, that's why I have made a small overlap here. So starting from week 7 or maybe week 8, for the next 5 weeks, you will have to practice 4 LRDI sets on daily basis. You can alternate between LR and DI. You can practice LR for 2 to 3 days and then DI for 2 to 3 days. It's totally up to you, whichever way you want to handle this. But minimum 4 sets on daily basis. Okay, now weekly 1 mock test with the analysis, and now you can start with 1 previous year paper every week. Okay, so you can start from 2017, right? 2017 finish. Okay, so 2017 there were 2 slots, so finish slot number 1 in 1 week, finish slot number 2 in the second week, and so on. Keep moving towards CAT 2024 slowly and steadily. All right, fine. So this is what you will have to do starting from week 7 or 8 up till week number 12. Now, the last 4 weeks before CAT. Now, you don't have to do anything extraordinary. You just have to continue with whatever you have been doing up till now. Okay, because things like if you are following this entire plan, then I would say that you are in a very safe position. So you don't have to experiment now. Okay, just continue with whatever you were doing and keep moving towards CAT slowly and steadily. So just increase this number by 1 or 2. Earlier, if you were practicing 4 sets, increase it to 5. Earlier, if you're practicing 5 sets, increase it to 6. Okay, and keep solving them on daily basis. Weekly, now you will start handling 2 mocks after every 3 to 4 days. So weekly 2 mocks. Now, since you are in the month of November, so in the month of November, we have OMETs starting up with Narsi Munji. In December, we have SNAP. Then in January, we'll have ZAT and other examinations to come. Okay. So what you can do is 2 mock tests. So in between, you can just start having a look at omits as well. Okay. So don't start with snap, but the students who are appearing for NMAT examination in the month of November, they can like just plan 3 or 4 mock NMATs in this month. Okay, so that they have a complete idea about NMAT, about the syllabus, about the pattern of NMAT, right? And just continue with the CAT mock test series as well, right? Now, one PYQ, one previous year paper every week. This will continue. You can increase it to 2 as well. Instead of 1, you can increase it to 2, because starting from CAT 2020, we have 3 slots per CAT. Okay. So before 2020, there used to be only 2 slots. But starting from 2020, there are 3 slots. So 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 5 years into 3, you have 15 previous year papers to handle here. Now, when you are handling previous year papers, try to take this entire PYQ like a mock paper. Okay, so don't just practice the questions of LRDI, practice the entire mock paper, practice the entire previous year paper, and behave it like take it as if you are writing the actual mock test. All right. Okay, so that will help you in analyzing your preparation, analyzing your performance at a much better scale. All right. So friends, this is the entire schedule. This is the entire plan that you'll have to follow. You must follow in order to do good for CAT LRDI section. The students who have followed this plan blindly without any deviation, I'm telling you, a lot of them are able to score more than 95 percentile in their actual CAT examination. So friends, all the very best. I'll see you in many more sessions with many more strategies for CAT 2025. All the very